What's up, football fans? Today we're diving deep into the world of the San Francisco 49ers. And trust me, there's a lot to talk about. The NFL draft is just around the corner. And with the second version of my 2025 mock draft on the table, things are getting serious. We're in full draft season mode. And if you've been following the journey of this team, you know just how critical this upcoming draft is. The first round kicks off on Thursday night, April 24th. Rounds 2 and 3 will go down Friday, April 25th, and then we wrap it all up on Saturday, April 26th, with the final 4 rounds. The Niners have been busy, letting go of several players and stockpiling picks along the way. Now it's time to make those picks count. This team is heading into the draft with a solid stash of selections. Let's break it down. They've got the 11th overall pick in the first round, a second-round pick at number 43, and 2 third-rounders at 75 and 100. That's 4 picks inside the top 100, and we're just getting started. They've also got 2 picks in the 4th round, one at 113 and another at 138. Then 2 more in the 5th, sitting at 147 and 160. No 6th rounder this time, but they do have 3 7th-round selections, numbers 227, 249, and 252. That's a total of 11 picks, which gives them real flexibility to hit on major needs and swing for upside. Now, let's get into my mock. A lot of draft analysts are linking the Niners to positions like cornerback, offensive line help, maybe a defensive tackle. But I took a different route. With the 11th pick, I'm grabbing an edge rusher. This team desperately needs help applying pressure opposite Nick Bosa, and this guy I've got in mind is a beast. He's explosive, agile, flexible, and brings relentless energy to every snap. He played at around 250 pounds and has the kind of frame and athleticism that immediately translate to the pros. What's really cool is his wrestling background, which gives him incredible leverage and technique. You see it in the way he dips under blockers and keeps his center of gravity low. In 2024, he didn't just play well, he dominated. He led the country with 17 sacks and added 23 tackles for loss. That's the kind of production that gets front offices talking. But let's not ignore the red flags. This player had a suspension back in 2022 during his time at Virginia, and there are 2 sexual misconduct allegations tied to his name. No formal charges were filed, but it's something teams will have to weigh heavily. Feedback from coaching staffs at both Virginia and Marshall has been mixed. However, his coach at Marshall described him as one of the most humble people he's ever met. On the field, though, the guy is a game wrecker. Against Ohio State, the eventual national champs, he was a standout, making plays against a line loaded with future pros. He showed he can win against top-tier talent. Some might say, well, it's just Marshall, but he originally came out of the ACC and backed up his tape with consistent pressure across 2 seasons. 89 total pressures, to be exact. His leap from 4.5 sacks to 17 is no fluke. The game has slowed down for him, and now he's ready to shine. The Niners have tried this before. They've invested second-round picks hoping to find that perfect complement to Bosa, but nothing has stuck. This could finally be the one. He's a bit of a gamble, yes, but if it pays off, they'll have landed a player who can change the game from day one. Moving on to the second-round pick, number 43 overall, I stayed on the defensive side and went for a nose tackle out of Michigan. This guy is an absolute load in the middle. 6'4", 331 pounds, and a frame built for the trenches. He's a monster inside and brings serious power with long arms and heavy hands. He had flashes of dominance, especially in big rivalry games, and while he wasn't always consistent, the tools are there. In 2024, he logged 32 tackles, 7 for loss, 3.5 sacks, and 27 pressures. That's outstanding for an interior lineman. He also defended 5 passes and recovered 2 fumbles. He's not a finished product, but his ceiling is high. At the Combine, he ran a 5.13 40-yard dash and posted a 31-inch vertical jump. Rare numbers for a guy that size. He might not have elite first-step explosion, but his short area quickness is legit and can be developed further. This kind of player doesn't just anchor the run game. He has the potential to collapse the pocket from the inside, which is huge in today's NFL. He wasn't always the star of his defense, sometimes overshadowed by a teammate, but the raw numbers tell a story of steady disruption. Over 2 seasons, he posted 27 and 23 pressures, which shows his ability to get after quarterbacks even if the sacks don't always show up. With our third-round pick, I started thinking about the offensive line. This is where I took a bit of a sleeper pick, someone not getting enough love in this class. He's got the size, 6'5", around 325 pounds, and those nearly 35-inch arms that scouts love. He also has a wrestling background, which is something I seriously value in linemen because it means he understands leverage, positioning, and knows how to fight in close quarters. This guy didn't even start playing football until his sophomore year of high school, but still managed to become a 41-game starter at William and Mary. The jump from a smaller program is real, but so is the talent. He's already more technically sound than a lot of prospects from big-name schools. He's raw but promising. I don't expect him to start right away, but he's exactly the type of player you develop into a reliable starter down the road. Could be left tackle, could be right, depends how the roster shakes out after veteran decisions get made. Up next in the draft, I looked at wide receiver with the 100th overall pick. With uncertainty around one key receiver's return and the trade of another, the need is there. The guy I picked stands about 5'10", weighs close to 200 pounds, and can fly. He runs the 40 in 4.4 seconds flat. What I like most is his ability to separate quickly off the line, make sharp cuts, and generate yards after the catch. In this offense, that's gold. Last season, he had over 70 catches, racked up close to 1,200 yards, and found the end zone 14 times. His average of 17.1 yards per reception shows he's a big play threat. There are concerns, though, his drop rate is a bit high. He had 3 drops in 2023, 5 in 2022, and 5 more in 2021. Still, his upside is real. He can become a solid number 2 or 3 option in the passing game. He may not block all that well, but he's a field stretcher and someone who can flip a game in one play. Let me know when you're ready for part 2, and I'll continue from here with the same tone and flow, wrapping up the rest of the mock draft. With the 113th pick, I decided to double down on defense and went for a cornerback out of Kansas State. While his physical frame might not scream shut-down corner, he's a bit smaller than ideal. He plays way bigger than his size suggests. This guy is fast. We're talking about someone who ran the 100 meters in just over 10 seconds in high school and won state championships in track. That speed translates to the field. He's sticky in man coverage, especially in press, and he's versatile enough to play both inside and outside, though I see him thriving in the slot at the next level. That flexibility could allow another corner already on the roster to remain outside, where he's been improving. In his final college season, he recorded 50 tackles and 3 tackles for loss. But what really jumps out is his ability to get his hands on the ball. He had 8 pass breakups, and opposing quarterbacks had a rating of 73.5 when targeting him. Out of 73 passes thrown his way, he allowed 41 catches for 371 yards and 2 touchdowns. Solid numbers, especially given the level of competition and the fact that he was tested often. His instincts and reaction time are elite. He sees plays develop and is quick to jump routes, something every team covets in a nickel corner. Add that to the fact that he played a ton of snaps across his college career, similar to other successful draftees from last year's class, and you've got a player who's seasoned, tested, and ready for the leap. Later in the draft, I started looking at the running back room, and it was clear the team could use a spark. There's a guy who caught my eye. He's a high-risk, high-reward type. He's explosive, shifty, and when he finds a crease, he hits it like he's been shot out of a cannon. His ability to read blockers and burst through open lanes is tailor-made for a wide-zone running scheme. That fits perfectly with how this offense wants to operate. In 2024, he carried the ball 134 times for 730 yards, averaging 5.4 yards per carry. He also caught 42 passes for 368 yards, ending the season with 14 touchdowns. Those are legit numbers. But here's the concern. He's fumbled 7 times in the past 2 years. Ball security is non-negotiable in the pros, and that's an issue. On top of that, there are whispers about his work ethic. This front office wants guys who eat, sleep, and breathe football. So, if he's going to succeed, he'll have to prove he wants it. The talent is there. He's dangerous in space, can be used out of the backfield as a pass catcher, and offers big play potential every time he touches the ball. But there's a real question of whether he'll buy in and take coaching at the next level. Next up, with the 147th pick, I took a shot at developing a quarterback. Look, this team has done a solid job turning mid to late round QBs into something special. Just look at the track record. Guys like CJ Beathard, Nick Mullins, and of course, Brock Purdy. I'm betting they can do it again. This prospect I went with has great size at 6'3" and about 260 pounds. In 2024, he finally broke out, throwing for nearly 4,800 yards. He completed 66% of his passes, averaged 8.1 yards per attempt, and tossed 37 touchdowns. He also threw 12 interceptions, which tells you he's aggressive, sometimes to a fault. He's not the most mobile quarterback, and he can be slow to process plays, but he's got a cannon. He's fearless in the pocket, steps into his throws, and delivers the ball downfield with confidence. He's also coming from a respected program that went deep into the playoffs. Earlier in his college career, he got benched when a new quarterback arrived, but instead of quitting, he transferred and got better. That says something about his resilience. He's not ready to start, but with proper coaching, I believe he could grow into a high-level backup or even push for a starting job down the line. With quarterback addressed, I circled back to the offensive line. There's a guy I've been watching from a powerhouse program. He's built like a tank, 6'5" and 318 pounds. This dude is strong. He benches over 400 pounds and squats over 570. That kind of strength in the lower body gives him great anchor and pass protection. And in the run game, he just drives people backward. He's raw but tough as nails. You don't need him to play right away, and that's the beauty of this pick. You stash him, coach him up, and down the road, he could be a plug-and-play guard or even kick outside if needed. Now, let's talk linebackers. There's one prospect who really caught my eye. He's about 233 pounds, 6'2", and ran a 40 in 4.64 seconds. But here's the thing. On tape, he plays faster than that. He covers ground quickly, has a strong upper body, and is a natural in coverage. He can run with tight ends, stick with running backs in the flat, and even line up on slot receivers when needed. He's fluid, instinctive, and doesn't look stiff when flipping his hips. He reminds me of some top-tier linebackers we've seen enter the league in recent years. Plus, he can blitz. He may still struggle at times diagnosing plays, especially against misdirection or play action, but he's smart and a hard worker. You couldn't ask for a better room for him to learn from. Tight end is another position I couldn't ignore. Despite already adding depth through free agency, I think this draft offers a chance to bring in a developmental piece. I went for a tight end who weighs 249 pounds and has real upside. He's athletic, has great hands, and can stretch the seam. He's not polished, but he doesn't need to be. He can sit behind the veterans, learn the system, and then come in as a mismatch weapon. He's already shown flashes of dominance in college and has the frame and attitude to keep improving. With pick 252, I wrap things up with a center from Texas. He's not flashy. He doesn't blow you away with measurables or highlight plays, but he's tough, consistent, and smart. He was the anchor of his college offensive line and played a huge role in their playoff run. He's faced elite defensive linemen in 2 different Power 5 conferences and held his own. That's what I'm looking for in a late-round pick. He understands protections, makes good pre-snap reads, and rarely gets bullied. While he might not ever be a pro bowler, he's the kind of guy who makes your roster better. If he finds the right system and gets proper development, he could carve out a long NFL career as a dependable interior lineman. So that's the mock draft, every pick made with purpose. From explosive pass rushers to developmental quarterbacks, versatile defenders to sneaky good offensive linemen, I think the Niners have a real shot at reloading their roster the right way. We'll see how things actually unfold on draft day, but if it goes anything like this mock, the future in San Francisco is looking strong. Let me know if you want a bonus breakdown of undrafted sleepers or possible trades before the draft kicks off. We're just getting started. But before we dive in, don't forget to subscribe to 49ers Zone and hit the like button on this video. Your support helps us keep bringing you the latest updates on the San Francisco 49ers. And don't forget to share your thoughts on the news in the comments below. In a stunning twist that has sent shockwaves through the NFL, the San Francisco 49ers have launched an audacious bid to acquire MVP quarterback Josh Allen from the Buffalo Bills. The news broke mere weeks after Allen inked a record-breaking 6-year, $330 million extension with Buffalo, making him the highest-paid player in league history. The 49ers' pursuit of the star signal caller has ignited speculation and debate across the football world. Could one of the league's most dangerous quarterbacks actually swap snowy Buffalo for sunny California? The timing of the 49ers' move is as bold as it is curious. Allen is coming off a season in which he cemented his status among the NFL elite, capturing the league's MVP award and rewriting the Bills' postseason record books. His dynamic blend of arm strength, mobility, and leadership helped Buffalo reach its second AFC championship game in 5 seasons. Yet, the sting of a heartbreaking loss to the Kansas City Chiefs, his 4th playoff defeat to Patrick Mahomes, lingers, fueling rumors that Allen might be open to a fresh start. For the 49ers, the motivation is clear. Despite boasting a loaded roster and making deep playoff runs in recent years, San Francisco has struggled to find long-term consistency under center. Brock Purdy has shown flashes of brilliance, but the franchise appears to be seeking a transformational player to finally push them over the Super Bowl hump. Josh Allen, with his rare physical tools and playoff pedigree, represents the kind of elite talent that could instantly reshape the NFC landscape. Still, questions abound. With Allen under contract through 2030 and carrying an enormous cap hit, prying him away from Buffalo would likely require a historic trade package. Think multiple first-round picks, star players, and perhaps even ownership-level negotiations. The Bills, meanwhile, have yet to comment publicly, but insiders suggest that while they're not actively shopping Allen, they're at least listening, especially given the cap gymnastics required to sustain a contender around him. As the offseason unfolds, the league holds its collective breath. Could this be the most seismic quarterback move since Tom Brady left New England? Or is it a high-stakes game of leverage and headlines? One thing is certain. The 49ers are swinging for the fences, and if they connect, the entire NFL landscape could be in for a dramatic realignment. That's it for this update. If you enjoyed the video and want to keep receiving exclusive news about the San Francisco 49ers, make sure to subscribe to 49ers Zone and give this video a like. We always look forward to hearing your comments and opinions. See you in the next video.